Wow, Adrian, it's been quite a year for horror movies, hasn't it?
This has been one of the most phenomenal years for horror.
It certainly has. So we decided we were going to do a top 10 list of horror movies we saw this year. I'm very upset that Nosferatu came out last year. I have very poor perception of time, so it was actually at the top of my list. But, you know.
We're not going to say anything bad about that because it was phenomenal. So, yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie. That was going to be my movie of the year, but well, it's the movie of last year, I guess. But yeah, thankfully, this movie, well, thankfully, this year was a great year. This was the return of, the most horrifying movie of all, Happy Gilmore 2, a movie we've all been dreading.
When you're at the top of your game, you can always shank one.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Honestly, the scariest movie that came out was War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. Nah, I'm just kidding. This was the glorious year of the Strangers franchise. That was the scariest. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, scary bad.
Monster Fangs!
Monster Fangs.
So, obviously we made 10 actual movies that we loved. Let's talk about The Ugly Stepsister, a movie that most of you probably haven't watched.
The Ugly Stepsister is one of my absolute favorites from this year. The costumes are absolutely incredible. It is fairy tale horror. It also has body horror elements. And it's a fairy tale, but it's a horror story. It's magical. It has a great sense of humor. And I just cannot say enough about it.
I'm going crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Ugly Stepsister is, of course, the story of one of the ugly stepsisters of Cinderella. And the movie is from her point of view. This is a grim medieval world where standards of beauty are very much the same as ours, where if you're a woman, you're expected to look perfect. And of course, Ugly Stepsister has an ugly nose that's too big, so she gets a nose job. But this is a nose job in the year 1000 or something. So you have to watch them literally break her nose with a hammer and then put like a wooden splint on it to straighten it out and fix it. And the things that she does to look beautiful.
The tapeworm. The tapeworm.
They eat tapeworms to lose weight. And it's horrifying. Like, you see her pulling it out later and it doesn't end. It's gruesome. And my favorite part about this movie is you do see Cinderella. And Cinderella does have a fairy godmother, but you see it through the eyes of the ugly stepsister, who, yeah, she's mean to Cinderella, but everyone's mean to Cinderella. She's jealous of her. She's her rival. And, like, she sees through the window all the mice making her dress, and it's like, how do I get one of those? Like, that's what she's thinking. She's like, what the fuck? And it really is tragic. You even hear the prince. He goes like, would you want to fuck one of those things? And he's pointing at her, and they're all laughing.
See, I've lost my mind.
My favorite part of the whole film is that it actually uses like the horror of the real story, like when the stepsister cuts off her toes. Guys, it is gruesome and barbaric and horrifying, just like it is in the story. It's like the real deal.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. We watched on Shudder. I don't know where it is.
It's on Shudder still, and I think it's on Prime Video now.
Yeah, so watch it. Check it out. I don't know who directed it. Their name is here. Or here. Yeah, so we both had that on our list. These are in no particular order, so if you're expecting a internet-friendly list, then
wrong place, guys. Wrong place.
Yeah, we're messy. We're monsters. We can't help it. I actually had Friendship on my list. Well, Friendship is a dark comedy from acclaimed, beloved comedian, nationwide beloved comedian Tim Robinson.
Hot dog-shaped car through the window!
Driver's gone. Somebody call the cops. We need to find that driver.
They could have killed someone. Who Whose car is this?
Yeah, come on. Whoever did this, just confess. We promise we won't be mad.
He has his Netflix show, I Think You Should Leave, where him and his friends play a series of wacky characters that really can't get along in polite society due to their neurodivergence. He also has a show called Detroiters with Sam Richardson, and Richardson's also in I Think You Should Leave. Interestingly enough, Sam Richardson's also the protagonist of Werewolves Within, which was directed by
Josh Rubin.
A favorite.
I love
of the
Josh.
show. So yeah, do check that out. But no. Of course, Friendship. He also has a show this year called The Chair Company, which is, I don't know how to describe it. It's a weird Lynchian conspiracy show that makes no sense. It's wonderful. But Friendship is, of course, his movie. He did not direct it. I don't believe he wrote it either, but he stars in it, and he's likely a producer on it. And it's about his weird relationship with his family. His wife has no connection to him because he's creepy and a terrible partner. He's a terrible dad, but he makes friends with the local neighbor who's kind of a chill dude who thinks that Tim Robinson is just, I don't know, okay guy until he's not. And it takes some very dark turns, and it comes across as an I Think You Should Leave skit that doesn't cut after something crazy happens. It just keeps going, and you see the ramifications of Tim Robinson's terrible behavior.
Hello? Howdy. Howdy.
Honey, the new neighbor invited you over for a drink at 8 tonight. I said you'd go.
You don't know my schedule.
Adrian, you want to talk about how this movie made you feel as a woman?
So the first time I watched it, I had to watch it twice, guys, because the first time I watched it, I hated it. I hated it so hard because Tim Robinson's character is horrible. He's so bad. And I think every female knows what a narcissistic relationship looks like. And having, like, you know, his wife is a cancer survivor and he completely, like, ignores her or tries to, like, just make her small at every moment. It's just awful. He gets her lost.
He kind of like loses track of the situation. He just goes home, and then the cops are like they're trying to find out what happened with something else, and they're like, "Is your wife home?" And he goes, "Oh no." They're like, "Where is she?" He's like, "She's in the sewer," and they're just like, "Excuse me?"
When I watched it, I don't think I've laughed at anything so hard in my life.
I can see the future. It's full of pals. I'm on the edge of life, and the view is gorgeous.
But I have a morbid sense of humor.
You know, I have an issue with a lot of like satiric comedies, dark comedies, because they tend to have happy endings. This has a very grim ending, which kind of cements it and is part of the reason why it's on my top 10 horror movies of the year. It also has the funniest drug trip in cinematic histories.
Just the look on his face at the end makes the movie entirely worth it's one of the best endings I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Dan made me watch it, guys. I did not want to watch this movie because I don't do comedy usually. But I had to eat my words. He was right, and I watched it twice.
Okay. I, of course, had the smash hit, insanely popular movie Sinners on my list.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will.
You can't not have Sinners, directed by the auteur Ryan Coogler. This movie is a watershed moment for vampire movies, for movies set during Jim Crow, movies about music. I mean, that's its strongest theme, of course. Adrian, you look like you want to explode. Talk about
It's just, that whole movie just made me so ridiculously happy. And I'm so glad I got to see it in a theater on the big screen because it was an actual larger than life movie. And it's just one of the most, like, epic vampire movies that I've seen in the last, 20 years. I haven't seen anything that original done with vampires in a while. With also paying homage to like real mythology. So it was really fun.
Yeah, yeah. We have Michael B. Jordan doing double duty as two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. And I have really bad facial blindness. I get people mixed up constantly. Like, me and Adrian will be talking about whatever. I'll be like, "Oh, that was Aubrey Plaza," and she'll be like, "That was Emma Stone." Like, I cannot keep people straight. So I kept thinking that Michael B. Jordan's characters were different actors. And I was like, wait. And then I thought it was one person, and I could not follow it until, well, I don't want to spoil the movie.
He has bird blindness, guys.
This movie follows Smoke and Stack as they go about setting up a new club with jazz music. And it's specifically for black people because as far as I can tell, and as far as I know, black people can't go into white people's bars at this time, or it's not safe for them to do so. So opening night is going great. Haley Steinfeld is hanging out, and, well, some strange, shifty Irish folk pop by. And they want to come in. They want to sing. They want to perform. They're turned away at the door. And Haley Steinfeld is like, you just let them in. And he's like, if one of us hits them, or they say we hit them, or there's any kind of altercation, all this goes up in smoke. But it turns out those Irish people are vampires. They're a roving gang of Irish vampires. And the lead vampire, it's the kind of thing where he's actually controlling all of the other ones that he turns. And it becomes this kind of struggle of oppressed people kind of fighting over turf. It's really sad.
And music. They're fighting over stories and music.
It's a clash of cultures, yes. There's this wonderful younger actor, and he's really the protagonist.
And he can sing.
He can sing, he can play the guitar. He's incredible. And, well, let's just say that there's this incredible moment where, if you haven't seen the movie, there's this incredible moment where he's playing his guitar, and for a minute, he feels it. He feels the pulse of history. You see, like, dudes playing drums, old ancient African dudes, in Stone Age times or something, playing the drums. You see people from the 60s, 70s, and 80s with fucking double-headed guitars and stuff. And he's just there playing his little blues guitar. And he's like, yeah, man, because at its core, this movie is about how music is a universal language, and everyone can understand music. Even if it's in another language, you can vibe with it. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful.
Yes.
One of my favorite things about the soundtrack, actually, is there's an electric guitar riff that plays throughout it. And it does pay off at the end. It's brilliant.
With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts.
I'm not going to give it away.
The ending just reminded me of a Lestat Louis kind of moment. Like, it had total, like, I feel like Michael B. Jordan's, what was it? Stack's the one that lives, right? Or was it Smoke?
Dude, I don't know.
Anyway, one of them. Anyway.
Wrong person.
I feel like they would hang out with Lestat. I feel like they would be buddies.
Yeah, and of course she's talking about the Anne Rice Lestat from Interview with the Vampire,
Yes.
And all those wonderful books that we talk about all the time.
I thought Sinners was just amazing. They even, when they do there's a whole moment dedicated, like, paying homage to The Thing.
Yeah,
it was
famous
so
scene where they're testing everyone's blood, yeah.
With the garlic. They're doing it with garlic, and it's hilarious. And Delroy Lindo totally rocked that movie, and I hadn't seen him in anything in a while, so it was really exciting.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie, and it definitely deserves its accolades. One of the sad things about it is a lot of the costumes, I assume for the Irish people, came from Marvel's Blade movie that's never getting made now. So,
It's going to be tragic.
At least they got used.
Well, in something absolutely worthy of the usage.
Mm-hmm. Interesting movie. Definitely plays with themes of race and struggle. There's also Native Americans that fall prey to the Irish vampire. Check it out. Just watch it. It's really damn good. So, next movie I've got, and Adrian, you've got this too, right?
What, Weapons?
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
That's not on your list. Damn.
It's
Okay.
not on my list.
Well, so Weapons is the second movie from Zach Kreger, who also directed Barbarian, and he's also one of the whitest kids you know.
Quiet. Suck my presidential bitch.
Weapons is awesome. I thought it was an alien movie throughout it, but it's something a little more mundane, but the execution is very good. I love this.
Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I thought it was really fun. The Justin Long moment, I'm going to say.
No. So in this movie, there's a moment in the middle of the night, one night, where all the kids get up and they walk out of their houses and nobody knows where they went. You see them all with their arms out, just running out into the night. And the movie plays with perspective. First, you're following one character and seeing what happens with them. The main character, well, our first main character, what's her name?
Julia Garner.
Yes. The first main character, Julia Garner, who I saw in a... Our first main character, actually, is Julia Garner, who is in Apartment 7A, the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby, which is awesome. I love that movie. So I have bad facial blindness, and I recognized her by her hair, because it's very interesting. She's actually a teacher, and she's the teacher for... Is it all those kids, right?
Yes, it was her entire class.
Yeah, they call her a witch. People drive by her house, leave threatening messages. And she kind of decides, I need to figure out what's going on. Like, where did these kids go? And it becomes this intriguing mystery.
You have basically three characters that you see it through their eyes. You have Julia Garner, you have Josh Brolin, and then you have the cop character. You're watching these same set of circumstances up into a point happen. I think Josh Brolin actually did a pretty good job. I thought he was very entertaining, especially in the scenes with Julia Garner, because he hates her at first. There's so much anger and hatred towards this poor teacher who has no clue what's going on like everyone else.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Yeah, well, his son is one of the kids that are missing, and Josh Brolin is very like, I know you had something to do with it. So they keep running into each other until, well, something happens. I can't spoil it. This movie has a great ending. Its third act is completely off the rails, so watch it just for that. I'm not going to spoil it here. We don't spoil movies. Well, we spoil some movies.
We spoil some movies, but not that one. The ending is too interesting to not go in blind if you can.
If you have kids or you've ever had kids, I mean, you know.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying, but the end was extremely satisfying.
It's also hilarious.
I know. It was so funny. It's morbid. It's morbidly funny, guys, but it is really funny.
So one that I think we both have is Opus.
Opus was one of my absolute favorites this year.
The back row's asleep. But the front row's ready to rage.
Are you sure you haven't been drinking with us?
Okay.
Yeah. John Malkovich plays an established aging pop star.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Who started a cult?
Yeah, he has like a cult. He has a compound full of people that work there and live there and serve him and follow the ethos in his weird pop music. They get to his compound, and at first they're just kind of listening to the music and watching John Malkovich's weird performance art. And then things take a turn, and our main character, played by, I mean, you said she's from The Bear, right?
Yes.
Ayo Edebiri, right?
Yes, she's phenomenal.
She's really good. Her boss is like, just relax, it's all good. This is the chance of a lifetime to interview John Malkovich, and things take a turn. Things take an aggressive turn.
Guys, it is a John Malkovich movie. It is John Malkovich doing John Malkovich to the best of his ability. It is off the rails and so entertaining. The music is like super catchy and will be stuck in your head for days. Like so hard. The costuming, everything he walks out in is absolutely like, think of Elton John.
Yeah, this movie got kind of like middling reviews, which was kind of shocking after I got done with it because I thought it was pretty engaging. Maybe it's just the conclusion is a little, I mean, been there, done that, but it's worth it just for John Malkovich's performance. I mean, this is definitely one of the most memorable movies I've seen this year, personally.
Future times, all the times, really. And there is more to come. So much more.
I think it's really funny because the movie bombed. Like, it bombed really bad. But I had to see it. I had to see it because it had John Malkovich in it.
A list of the best movies this year is incomplete without the long-awaited fucking Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. Now, we did cover this in a two-parter on our podcast, the Demon Toast podcast, but we have to talk about it briefly here. I mean, again, we waited for this movie for like 15 years or something.
And I'm telling you mine.
What can you even say? It's Frankenstein.
It was well worth the wait, and it's completely magic. And yes, I've tried not to say that word all day today, but this one is the one that deserves it. Frankenstein was magic. The costumes, like the romantic architecture, like the monster, the creature is gorgeous. Like, it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, he's a tragic little guy, and my heart goes out to poor Frankenstein the monster. I've got him behind me, actually. He's wrestling with Frankenstein. Yeah, no, this movie is great. Mia Goth is Elizabeth. Oscar Isaac as Frankenstein, I thought was a little miscast. Everyone yelled at me on the podcast, so... You know, he's a little too old to be Frankenstein, but, I thought he was quite good. He's doing the manic, arrogant douchebag thing, and... I mean, this movie is dripping in gothic fucking atmosphere. Morose, it's full of death and torment and sadness. And I think it's a great companion piece to last year's Nosferatu and hopefully Mr. Eggers' werewolf movie.
Next year! I'm so excited!
Yep. So, hey, would I like to have, would my OCD like Eggers to have a Frankenstein? Yes, but you could do worse than Del Toro.
Del Toro's magic. He has the morbidly romantic aesthetic that just, like, feeds my dream.
Probably my favorite living director. Yeah. He's made some bombs, but everyone makes bombs. That's okay. Not everyone makes Frankenstein. Not everyone makes The Shape of Water, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's one of the most beautiful movies ever made, period. I thought Frankenstein was, like I said, it's a morbidly romantic dream. I think Jacob Elordi did a fantastic job as the creature and being extremely empathetic. I loved all of the artistic references. Like, there was so much art in the movie, guys. I geek out over that. And literally, the costumes were inspired by Tiffany stained glass. Like, it just doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, this movie did something that I crave in Frankenstein adaptations, where the monster and Victor have a father-son dynamic that escalates. I talked about this on the podcast at length, but, we see Victor's terrible father, played by Charles Dance, and, he's a doctor, and he's incredibly cruel. Victor is an even better doctor who creates life, and he chains his son in the basement. The monster, he's more than just a doctor. I mean, he is a god. He can't even be killed. he has prodigious strength and, well, his diction is very good. I wish I could speak as clearly, cleanly, and dramatically as this version of Frankenstein's monster. Boris Karloff is always going to be my favorite monster, but this one could have a comfortable place as number 2.
I think he's definitely my number 2 as well. No.
This movie is a movie that I thought was perfect. I thought it was flawless from beginning to end. It's called Companion.
There have been 2 moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
And personally, I didn't know about the twist going in, and it might be public knowledge, so I'm just going to keep it to myself and just say that our main character, Sophie Hatcher, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's something about her that she doesn't know that everyone else knows. And her boyfriend, played by the incomparable Huey from The Boys, what's the actor's name? Jack Quaid.
Jack
Quaid, who you might know from Red Letter Media, or The Boys. We love him, even though he plays kind of a douchebag in this movie. This movie's awesome. I don't know what else to say without spoiling it.
We'll say that
it's a great portrait of abuse, control,
yes,
coercion, and the way people commodify women and women's bodies.
Yeah, and minds. And their minds as well. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's fascinating the way other women react to her. If you know what we're talking about, great, leave a comment. If you don't know, well, go watch the movie.
You have to watch it. This one's a trip.
Oh yeah. Again, as I said, this is like, for me, this is like a 4-star movie. Like, I couldn't believe
the use of the Goo Goo Dolls in that one particular scene was the most appropriate thing I have ever seen describing a certain type of dude. Like, it was a whole thing. And girls, if you've seen it, leave a comment because you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, totally worth watching. It also says a lot to female agency,
Yeah, it does. It does, because once she does take things into her own hands, things escalate, and people who shouldn't get in her way get in her way. And it's pretty good. A lot of women don't have their own bank accounts. They don't have their own stuff. They depend on their boyfriend or their husband, and when those relationships go sideways, they don't have a lot of options. And that's commonplace in our society. It's normalized even. And I like how this movie plays with that. Definitely. I would love to talk about it in detail, but I don't think this is the place, because obviously we're shouting out our favorite movies, but we're also begging you to watch them. So this movie kind of has a central twist that, again, maybe the marketing ruined it. I'm not 100% sure. Well,
I think it is something important for women to watch.
I think it's important for everyone to watch. I think everyone should watch it. It's great. I would agree, though, as far as, female viewers go, this is going to hit a little harder.
Yes.
I have one that you haven't seen, 28 Years Later.
The bullets in the bandolier.
Another long-awaited... I know you didn't watch it. Another long-awaited movie. This fucking movie. I don't even know where to start. So I'm not a big fan of the second one, 28 Weeks Later.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Even though I love Robert Carlyle. No hate on Robert Carlyle, but yeah. It's terrible. It's awful.
This movie is much more compelling the way that first one was compelling. And I don't want to get bogged down in 28 Days Later. We're probably going to talk about it. Our co-host, Luca, I've got his book behind me. He wrote an entire book about it. Entire book of poetry centered around that movie with endless love. It's a great book. The UK has been entirely quarantined because the rage virus, as the zombie plague is called in these movies, has been beaten in Greater Europe, and they're like, fuck the UK. It's overrun. We don't want to deal with that anymore. We're finally done with them, So I guess they dodged Brexit in this universe. But our characters have regressed to basically the Iron Age. They don't have technology. When the movie opens up, actually, It has one of the best openings ever. You hear the intro for the Teletubbies. The corporate logos of the film companies kind of give way to the Teletubbies. Time for Teletubbies! And it's a bunch of kids sitting and watching Teletubbies. And they just look miserable and unhappy. It's great. It's such a great moment because it establishes several things. First off, that the wider world is fine. Secondly, that the kids are not distracted by the gleeful, multicolored aliens that are talking nonsense to them. They know they can die at any moment. And then, well, the Spooglies attack, and it's pretty horrific. Our main character, we see him as a little boy. He's being yelled at by his mom as a zombie attacks her and tears her apart, and she's screaming, "Run, run!" And that's how it opens up. And then 28 years later, he's got a son. He has a wife who has something wrong with her brain. She keeps talking to her father. She doesn't know where she is. And he's sleeping with a teacher in their little village because his wife is no longer, that's not an excuse, but he takes his son on a kind of a rite of passage adventure into the wilderness. And he's teaching him how to shoot with the bow and arrow, how to take out zombies, how to kill them quietly so that they don't attract more. And the son's a pretty good shot, It's pretty compelling stuff. They do some bullet time stuff, too, where when an arrow hits a zombie, they show it from another angle, moving real slow and then smashing through their body. Very kinetic, very brutal. And the English countryside, it's so desolate. There's, like, the remnants of society. At one point, you see a gas station, and the S is gone. So instead of shell, it says hell. Very, very creative, very useful. Very effective. And the plot, basically, the son sees a fire in the distance, and he asks his little friend about it, and his friend says, well, there's a doctor out there. He went crazy or something, I don't know. And the son's like, a doctor? Well, he could probably help mom. And he asks the dad, and dad's like, I don't want to talk about that. And the son gets sick and tired of his dad cheating on his mom, kind of being a little heavy-handed with him, and finally lying to him about the doctor. And he tells him, get away. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And he takes the mom, and they leave the village. And they go on a little adventure to find the doctor. And this movie does something that is probably inspired by those terrible Zack Snyder zombie movies, the Army of the Dead and that other one. I hate those movies, but there are alphas now. Those are rage zombies that are a little smarter and a lot bigger. They explain it as the rage thing kind of functioning like steroids sometimes and amping up the infected. And, well, you see some Swedish soldiers who are performing an operation on the island. I'm not sure what they're doing there, but they get overrun, of course, and there's one left, and he runs into the boy and his mom. And where the movie goes after that is great. It's brilliant.
There were so many dead. Infected and non-infected alike.
That's why our home is so precious.
There's a theme of Memento Mori, remember death. But it's bookended with the fact that remember you will die because your time is limited. So remember to love. And that's the core. That was the core of the first movie also.
Mm-hmm. It
where
was.
The main character finds his parents dead in bed together. The one having, them having, I believe, committed suicide together. And it's powerful stuff. There's some stuff I'm not giving away because I was very impressed with the movie, very impressed with the music. The end is kind of awesome. They're looking to do a trilogy.
Yeah,
this is a trilogy, but they're looking to do 28 years later, the Bone Temple, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that will be the second in this new trilogy, so whatever. Great movie. So okay. I can't recommend it enough. Next, we have Begonia, which you also saw?
Yes.
Begonia! Yo,
Begonia, oh.
All we've lost, all that's been done to us, we're setting that right again. Greetings. Welcome to the headquarters of the human resistance.
This movie, bro. So it's got this beekeeper motif where, like, the main character, who, by the way, is Jesse Plemons, right?
It is.
That's Jesse Plemons. Oh, I'm so proud of myself for recognizing him. So, yeah, he is so underrated as an actor. Like, of course, we know him from Breaking Bad, right? Yeah, where he plays the neo-Nazi kid. In this movie, he's a UFO weirdo. He works for, like... He works in, like, a fulfillment center for an Amazon-style company, scanning stuff. And he has this backstory where his mother got deathly ill from some kind of experimental drug. And he blames the CEO. And he knows her personally because she talked to him and promised to take care of his mom. And, of course, she's still sick. And he becomes convinced that she's an alien. And the opening monologue is fucking brilliant. He's talking about how they look human, but they're not. And you see her. You see the high-powered executive lady. She's taking her pills. She's doing her facial regimen. And it's unearthly. Like, I don't care. Like, look, I take pills. I do face stuff. But she's living in this luxuriant mansion. And everything she does is so delicate and refined and carefully plotted, and it's inhuman. I mean, let's face it, the rich are not like us.
Profile female corporate executive. I am crucial. In all humility, I can say that. Think of it like you abducted the governor, but worse. There is no possible scenario where you benefit from this incident.
That was really good.
So our main character believes that Emma Stone is an alien who is here to use the power of her company to torture mankind the way we torture the bees. And he coerces his neurodivergent cousin into helping him abduct her and get her to confess to being an alien and then bring them to her emperor so that they can negotiate the release of the planet. And, well, she treats them like they're crazy because they sound pretty crazy.
I've done a ton of research on this. You're killing our planet.
Alien fellas.
I'm not an alien.
You're lying to me.
It's a great movie. If you've heard UFO weirdos on YouTube or something, that's how he talks. Jesse Plemons is great as a nutcase. Or is he? I don't know. You have to watch the movie. I'm not going to spoil it because, like, whether or not she's an alien isn't really the point of the movie. It's how it plays out. And Adrian, do you want to tell me a little bit about this director?
Yorgos Lanthimos is magic. He's just completely magic. And anytime he gets together with Emma Stone or Jesse Plemons, because they did Kinds of Kindness together as well, which is like 3 different stories, and it's insane. But Poor Things was one of the most epically beautiful, weird takes on the Frankenstein idea that I've ever seen in my life.
This is Bella. Bella, this is Mr. McCandles.
Hello, Bella.
This one honestly carries a lot of weight with our political climate today in a lot of ways.
The motif of the bee colonies and how they're
Yes.
dying and we don't know why. And it's a bunch of factors.
Well,
Obviously,
there's
it's
that
not any one thing.
trauma with, you know, the mom and the company not really doing what they should be doing and using jargon to, I guess, get what you want on both ends, right? But also, like, you know, you have your crazy extremists and your insane alien guys that think the lizard people are here with us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, kind of a QAnon thing. Yeah, it's funny how Marxist criticism can really break down American art so effectively all the time. Fascinating, isn't it?
it was really powerful, but I thought the ending was beautiful, which I will not give away. And the acting was just on a whole other level. Every single person in that movie just rocked it. There's not a single useless word in that movie.
Yeah. Maybe another perfect movie. I know I've said that a few times.
Companion.
Begonia, Companion, and my next movie, I believe were all perfect movies. I had no problem with them. I thought they were flawless. And by the way, Begonia is actually a remake of a 20-year-old Korean movie called Save the Green Planet. I found it on Dailymotion, so go watch it. Okay, are we done with Begonia?
Yeah, we're done with Begonia.
This is my movie of the year. It's called Bring Her Back!
Bring her back!
Bring her back!
Listen, I gotta tell you a secret. Sparkle little angel. It's a beautiful angel. It does beautiful things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was
number
directed
one
by
movie
the
as
director
well.
This was directed by the director of Talk to Me, right?
Yes. They're brothers.
Yeah. Okay. I loved this movie. I went into it expecting a gory good time, and I was just sitting there riveted by the grief this movie bestowed upon me. Obviously, I'm someone who lost a sister early in life, so the death of a child is going to hit me differently than the average moviegoer, but extreme violence and gore, I mean, seriously. As far as demonic possession movies go, also, I loved this movie. There are so many demonic possession movies that get bogged down in the weird Catholic logic of what demons are and evil. This movie has nothing to do with any of that. It doesn't care. It's not relevant. It's a mother grieving her lost daughter and desperately doing anything to bring her back.
It was the most emotionally traumatic, horrifying, beautiful, film I've seen all year. It made me cry, and also it doesn't go heavy on the jump scares. It goes for that real pain, guys. This one hurts, but in the best, most beautiful way.
It's brutal. Also, if you're someone who loves analog horror, there's some really cool VHS tape stuff in this movie that, I mean, I'd love to see the making of that stuff. That's sick. She has a videotape that teaches you how to infect children with a demon. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh gosh. Also, so this is another movie with a very, very compelling commentary because it's a movie about the foster system and how it is often abused and used by people with agendas who don't actually care about the children they're adopting.
Yeah.
The foster mother in this movie is, I mean, she's definitely one of the top most evil stepmothers or creepy old people in a movie. I mean, I'm thinking of Rosemary's Baby now. Ew.
The Ruth Gordon effect, and Ruth Gordon was so good at being charming and then terrifying. This woman is the exact same.
Mm-hmm. Bring her back. If you don't watch this movie, man, you're missing an all-time classic.
It's seriously the best horror movie I've seen in the last 20 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. That is high praise coming from Adrian.
Yes, it really is, because guys, I watch literally everything, but it is the best horror film I have seen in the last 20 years. Easy.
Listen. Some people believe the spirit stays in the body for months after death.
It's beautiful.
Is this your movie? Is this your movie of the year?
Yes, it is 100%. We agree on the same movie. Guys, pay attention. We're agreeing on the same movie for the year. So at the top of my list that Dan hasn't seen yet, because that's the only reason he didn't like most of these, is because he hasn't seen them. I have Osgood Perkins' Keeper. Now, I am not going to give away the plot of this. It starts off with a man and a woman going camping in the woods, going to a house in the woods. They're getting a little relationship getaway. They've been together for a year. She's an artist who doesn't really paint anymore. He bought one of her paintings. That's how they apparently met. And they're in this house. And people show up in this house that really nobody planned on being there. But there's a whole other, that's just the basics. That's all I'm going to give you for it, because this is a love song to David Lynch.
I didn't know any of this.
If you watch this movie, it is Osgood Perkins saying how much he loved David Lynch, particularly Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive. Like, it is magical. I thought the creatures, like the spooglies, were fantastic and different and really weird. This one also has a honey bee theme that I find interesting, like Begonia. Guys, it's gorgeous. And Tatiana Maslany, I don't know if any of you guys are Orphan Black fans, but I just love her to death. She is phenomenal.
Or She-Hulk.
Or She-Hulk, or yeah, I think she's amazing. I think she's amazing. He's teasing about the She-Hulk. I actually kind of liked She-Hulk, but don't tell anybody, okay? It's shameful, I know. So yes, Keeper. Osgood Perkins, highly, highly recommend. I loved it.
Cool.
The other one on my list is Together, which is the film by Michael Shanks. If you guys remember Stargate SG-1, he was the doctor with the glasses that was so cute that, like, a lot of us girls had a crush on back then. He directed this horror movie with Alison Brie and Dave Franco. And I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of commentary on codependency and unhealthy relationships and how we work through relationships, but in like a horrific, like do or die kind of context. The ending I found completely beautiful. I sat there stunned, like just completely in awe of how they ended this movie. And it was beautiful and kind of hopeful in a way that I wasn't expecting. Next on my list, I have Good Boy, which is a horror movie completely from the perspective of a dog named Indy. And I'm going to tell you, this dog does better at, I mean, not quite John Malkovich level, but maybe like with a little bit of practice, like totally getting there. This dog was amazing. I thought the lore that they created for this film was amazing. The idea of a ghost eater, guys. I'm not going to tell you what that is or what it means, but it was phenomenally creative. And for those of you that like found footage, this was a found footage film. It was done amazingly. It's not too long also, because I know some of you don't like long movies like Frankenstein. That's like, you're putting your pennies in for that one. This one's just like
warning for Frankenstein.
3 hours later.
I saw Good Boy. I didn't like it. I thought it was going to be a slasher movie from the dog's point of view, and the dog was going to have to fight the slasher, but it was just a ghost movie, you know.
It wasn't just a ghost movie. It was more than that. He's putting it in layman terms.
This is like the duality of Monster Fangs here. I hated it. Adrian loved it, you know.
And this is why the fact that our favorite movie of the year is the same movie. It's pretty epic. I also have Dracula, A Love Tale, which I was lucky enough to have seen it. I was also lucky enough to work in a film this year with the main actor who played Dracula, Caleb Landry Jones. He is phenomenal. He is a wonderful actor. This movie, Luc Besson directed it.
You did not play hard enough! My life no longer belongs to you, God.
I was not expecting what this movie actually was, because what I was expecting is just kind of a cheap redo of Bram Stoker's Dracula, because if you watch the previews, that's really what it looks like. Instead, you get a mix. It's your typical Dracula tale, you know, Jonathan Harker going up to the castle, the tragic story of Dracula and his lost love and renouncing, you know. Also, guys, I'm a huge vampire nerd, so this stuff is just like, it lives in my heart. But then when Jonathan goes, you know, meandering through the castle and finds Dracula, the story turns into something completely else. It's more like Scheherazade, where Jonathan is getting Dracula to tell him stories so that he can live longer. And then it mixes, I don't know if many of you have seen the film Perfume with Alan Rickman and Ben Whishaw. It mixes elements of that in it as well. And then you have like Dracula all over it. The costumes are once again amazing.
I should probably interject that the whole tragic love story thing is strictly from the Coppola Dracula. It's not from the book.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that.
Want to have captured a specimen alive. What exactly did I capture?
A vampire.
My master. He comes to find his princess.
Here you are.
My prince.
So, you know, like, this movie is very much riffing on the
Bram Stoker, the Coppola version. It is ripping on Coppola 100%. You also you have Christoph Waltz as the Van Helsing character, which, you know, we didn't love him in Frankenstein. We love him, but we didn't love him in Frankenstein. I think he's pretty entertaining, but not entirely necessary in this movie. Okay. So that's what I'll say. I'll leave that there. But it was beautiful. And it was just the right amount of cheese and humor. I wasn't expecting it to have humor. It was really funny. It had me snickering like through the whole thing. And then for my last movie, Dan had Friendship, which is horror adjacent. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is probably the best film I have seen all year. The best horror film is Bring Her Back. The best film I have seen all year. It is also horror adjacent. It's an Irish film called Bird, and it has Barry Keoghan in it. I know you guys love him from Saltburn. He's actually a pretty phenomenal actor.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
What is? A day.
This movie, it's Irish. It has folklore. You have this character that you don't know if he is a magical creature that turns a person that turns into a bird that is kind of like helping this girl during these like really like her home life is horrible. She has little sisters. Her dad's getting remarried and he's ridiculous. It's a whole thing. And she loves her dad, but they don't get along for part of the movie. Anyway, it's very emotional. It's very, and I'm going to use the word that Dan hates, it's very human. It's tragic. It's horrific. And then it turns into a horror movie 100% by the end. And then it turns into something else. It's a fairy tale. We all know how I love my horror fairy tales, and that's what this one was. It made me sob after watching. I sat there and cried.
There was The Wolfman. It featured the first ever usage of meth mouth werewolves. That was fun. Yeah. It was okay. I mean, I've seen worse werewolf movies, I mean, you know. But for a movie called The Wolfman, it was just another cheap Blumhouse movie, like, whatever. Let's see, I saw Final Destination Bloodlines. That sucked.
CGI the movie. Okay, but the part with Tony Todd was actually really... I love Tony Todd. I'm sad that...
I mean, it was okay. It was just like, he didn't have like a hilarious death scene or something. It was just, oh, look, it's Tony Todd. Oh, okay, he's done. He left the movie. Okay. There's a couple things I wrote down here. There were a bunch of Popeye horror movies, because he's in the public domain now. Popeye the Slayer, man. Popeye's Revenge. Those are great titles, but I can't be bothered to watch them. We made a joke about on the last episode of our podcast, the Christmas episode, about The Mean One, a Grinch-themed slasher movie. That sucked, too. Let's see. There was R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead. That was all right. You know, it felt like a throwback to the 90s, which I guess it was, you know. There's something called Frankelda. I'm just going to cut to a clip of it.
Necesito tu ayuda. Permite que te muestre mi reino.
¿Cómo vamos? Susto.
That's Frankelda. Watch it. We also saw Hard Eyes. I really wanted to give a shout out, though, to Predator Badlands.
So this is your first hunt?
Like, I wasn't expecting much. It's, you know, to me it was another legacy sequel. Like, oh, look, it's another one. Disney bought another franchise and they rushed out a movie. But much like the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I thought was very thoughtful and well done, Predator Badlands, I felt like that movie achieved what those stupid Avatar movies are trying to do, where you have a non-human main character with a culture and like a world that is wholly alien, and you're following him and his adventure, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Was it a great Predator movie? I mean, it didn't have Schwarzenegger fighting a giant alien hunter, but I thought it was a pretty damn good movie, and you know, maybe horror adjacent. We talk about the pastiche a lot here, but I loved it. It was actually on my list until I saw 28 Years Later, so you know, sad. Very sad. Let's see. Adrian, I understand you saw the last Conjuring movie.
This thing in your house is a demon. It's the first one that we ever encountered.
That is my most hated movie of the year. The Conjuring, The Last Rites, that was a total affront to horror movies everywhere. What they did with the story, like, I literally sat there so angry, like, why did I just waste my time on this? And I enjoyed the last one. It was about the Rhode Island demon murders. Like, this one was not fun. It was not entertaining, and don't get me wrong, I love Patrick Wilson. I love Vera Farmiga. She's a total badass and a total hottie. But this movie was not it, guys. It was horrific. It was so bad. And yes, Hard Eyes came out, and that was a real fun romp. And we all know that I'm obsessed with Josh Rubin films. So, Josh Rubin, always.
Yeah, Hard Eyes is a rom-com with a slasher theme. It's actually really good. It's not like all those other weird little... What is there? There's the It's a Wonderful Life with the slasher stuff.
It's a Wonderful Life with long. Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Knife. Yeah, like, it's not like that. It's actually really clever. It's really charming. I just don't like rom-coms, so. Yeah, we also didn't mention The Monkey, the other Oz Perkins movie. I loved it. It just didn't make the list. It says on the box, organ grinder monkey, just like life.
And everyone in between. Whoever controls it controls life and death. And those deaths are really fucked up.
Holy Incredible. The end is terrible. The movie itself is horrific schlock, but it's delightful horrific schlock. It has a very mordant sense of...
with that one.
Oh yeah, the She-Hulk herself, you know, she's back.
You don't understand.
No,
if you watched all of Orphan Black, you would love her like I love her. She feels like it's like her characters. I have to say characters because she plays many different characters, but like she feels like family, man. She feels like family. Every time I see her face, I'm like, oh, I love her. Also, guys, I'm gonna say that Cannibal Mukbang is on Tubi, and it's totally worth a watch. It's not top tier material, but it's pretty darn good and really entertaining, especially if you love that B-movie cheese.
Tell us what a mukbang is.
People who make videos where they eat food for money. Like, they make money making.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, that's what a mukbang is. So a cannibal thing. It's not what you guys and your dirty minds thought it was. That is not it.
Yeah, get your head out of the toilet. It's not sexual.
Except 2 seconds after looking at her, and you know it is.
I mean, you know, I didn't mind watching her eat food.
She looked like she was the equivalent, like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Like that's what she was. She just, you know, she's just a little bitey. It's fine. We love our little bitey.
I did see The Long Walk with Mark Hamill. It was really good. I didn't care for the end very much. I felt like it could have been a little bit better, but definitely worth a shout out. Didn't quite make the list, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, I haven't had Dust Bunny yet. So Dust Bunny might make the list, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch it.
It'll make the list after we're done recording.
I know. I don't think it's streaming yet. I can't. It's not showing in the theater here.
Really?
Yeah, it's
in Texas.
It has David Dastmalchian in it, and you know I love him.
He's really good, man. He's really good. I think the last thing I care to shout out is Clown in a Cornfield. Slasher movie that's on, you know, it's on Shudder, and it's got a really neat little gimmick and twist to it. I really liked it. I'm not a big slasher person. I don't really like slasher movies, but I like that one. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to? I'm excited for Terrifier 4. It's got my girlfriend Rhea Ripley in it, you know.
Looking forward to Hokum. The guy that made Oddity and Kavat. It's his film,
really
has
good, yeah.
Adam Scott in it, and it looks amazing. Okay. So yeah, Hokum's the one I'm really looking.
The last 2 years were incredibly strong years for movies, and horror movies. Not so much fantasy or yeah. Like everything else is kind of suffering, but horror movies, man, horror movies are fucking thriving, bro. So yeah, hopefully we'll be back to talk about more awesome things next year, but that's our top 10 list. Did you have anything else, Adrian?
Nope. Totally good.
All right, well, here's our list. That's what happens when a lot of great things come out and we like movies, so, you know.
If you want to.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments, and I promise to read them. I do respond to our comments, even the trolly ones, so, you know.
He has too much fun, by the way. You still have my hat.
Yeah, well, you're never getting it back. This is my hat now. Yeah.
I'm hatless.
It's too big. It's too big for Alf. Better my head than yours. Write poetry, make art, love your demons. Ave Satanas.